Hey guys, so let's address this how do you stay motivated during COVID. So if you go back probably like 35 videos of mine last like 3-4 weeks ago, you will see me at one of my lowest points ever. I had just been diagnosed with sleep apnea. I had a sudden acute attack of Bell's palsy. I was depressed. I was unmotivated. I had put on 15 pounds. My body was screaming. And I came across a video about a woman who was just like, about living your life and being bigger than your excuses, part 2. Alright, so this is part 2. I will post them all in succession, so they'll all be here when you guys are ready to watch them. But, so I'd said I'd come across a video about a woman who was talking about being bigger than your excuses. So if you look, probably 5 or 6 videos up from, like, my low point where I was, like, in tears, like, because I had felt like I was letting everybody down and I was letting my health go and all these things. You will see me starting to post, like, today's excuses, and I listed them, and I still did the workout, like the things that got in the way, but I still did the workout, and I did that for like a week or so. And the hardest thing about being motivated is getting started. Once you get started, it's momentum. It just keeps rolling, and you just keep doing it because you feel better when you do it. Part 3. So like I'm saying, it's momentum. So like once you get started, it's much easier to keep rolling. It's much harder to start. And so for everybody out there who is struggling, who's like, I've started 15 times and I've quit 15 times, well, start 16 times because maybe 16 will stick. But starting is the hardest part. Keeping going is much easier than getting started. And so the other thing I started doing is really analyzing my why. Why am I doing this? And so my very first why is because my kids are fatherless because obesity killed him. He died of sleep apnea. He died of sleep apnea as a complication of his obesity. He was in the process of trying to fix it when he died. And because of that, my children don't have a father. And I was a widow at 31 years of age. Okay, so my kids are my number one why as to why I'm doing this. Number 2 is I'm literally fighting for my life. 15 pounds took me from being active and energetic and present for my children and for myself to somebody who didn't want to get out of a chair, who was back in pain every time she went for a walk, whose blood pressure was going up, whose face literally broke from the stress of COVID. My face literally broke and I quit. And I realized that I was in horrific pain and my kids were asking me like, why can't we do the things we were doing a few weeks ago? Because your mother is broken. And so it's hard. It's really hard. But you have to dig deep. Part 5. So after I really did a lot of self-analyzation and really like dug into like what my problem was, I honestly reached out to you guys. And I posted that video when I was at my absolute lowest point and said, look, I'm failing. I am letting you down. And I need somebody to rally behind me and tell me I can do this, to back me up and to encourage me to keep going. And you guys came out in force. I got so many messages that, I was inspiring to them. Like, I was inspiring them. I was the reason they were being motivated. I was the reason they were exercising or starting their journey or whatever. And it completely blew me away. And I realized that the reason I started this, when I did start this, the reason I started this was to make a difference. Part 6. All right, so I joined up TikTok, post my journey, not only for accountability, but to make a difference, to prove to other big girls and big guys that we can do this, that we are stronger than the diet industry, the surgical industry, everybody who tells us how wrong we are and how poorly we look and how we don't fit the mold was wrong. That we could do this with diet and exercise and busting our butt, and we can do it. And little by little, I have now gained 9,000 plus of you as my family, 100% my family, who picks me up when I'm down, who encourages each other, motivates each other, who inspires me just as much as I inspire them. And so you're family now. I hold you in my heart, and as many of your videos as I find, I try to like, I try to comment, I try to follow back as many of you as I can, because I want to be just as invested as you as you are in me. Because there is not a day that goes by that I post a video that not some of you, it doesn't even need to be all of you, but if one person every day comments something on my videos, they're seeing that. They're seeing me put the work in. They're seeing me make the progress. And I see them. And so, yes, it is hard. It is so hard to stay motivated during COVID. I have 3 kids who are all being homeschooled. 2 of them who are special needs with learning disabilities. I was laid off, and I've had a host of medical problems since we've been home. But I'm not quitting. Part 8. So, like I said, it's super hard to stay motivated, and especially when you're home, you're sort of stuck in the house, you can't go anywhere. So where do I work out? That's the question. Where do I exercise? I work out on my front porch because I have a screened-in front porch. I work out in my living room I have a VR headset that I use, so at night I will plug that in and do some stuff with that and exercise. And the last thing I do is I utilize my neighborhood and I just go for walks. Because right now, my lower back and my hips are super, weak. I don't know. I can do those crazy wall climbs and things like that, but, walking hurts me. So right now I'm concentrating on walking. And right now walking is taking more effort as far as, calories and things like that than anything else that I do. So that's what I'm concentrating on right now. So I use my neighborhood. I walk at night. I bring a mask. So I was saying, I walk in my neighborhood. I wear my mask to get out of the immediate traffic area in my neighborhood, and then I take it off because you will suffocate. Don't overly exert yourself with a mask on if you don't absolutely have to. But I do have it with me, so that if I do come across people, I can put it on, I can maintain my distance, I can be socially conscious and, not put anybody else at risk. Basically, you have to figure out what motivates you. Why do you want to lose the weight? Is it your health? Is it your family? Is it... it could be something as shallow as you want to lose 15 pounds to fit into the next size down. That's an amazing, short, attainable goal. So set the goal and meet the goal. Then set the next goal. It doesn't have to be hard. All right, so I'm not sure if I completely answered your question, but motivation is hard. I find motivation in helping others, encouraging others, and encouraging myself. Yeah, it's just sort of that sort of thing. You have to find what motivates you. Right now, I'm reading a Rachel Hollis book. I'm listening to podcasts that are motivational and things like that to sort of, as my, hype people. People are hyping me up, getting me ready to go. I got a message today that a comment I left on somebody else's video encouraged them to work out. You know what that does? That makes me want to work that much harder for you guys and for myself, so that we are all in this together and we can do it together. I love you all. I want you to stay motivated, and I want you to do this with me. And reach out anytime. No question. I don't get offended. Reach out anytime.